What is up, my friends? It's a brand new week, and you are very welcome along to Monday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Today, I'm going to be telling you why Arne Slot's job as Liverpool head coach is not in any immediate threat. We're going to be speaking about players who are linked to the Reds, some who've ruled themselves out, and quite simply, the ridiculous. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, and of course, I will be back here tonight at 8:45 to give you these stories in more detail, and of course, hear what you guys have to say. Until then, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have a lot to get through. I'm going to dive straight in with a few reports from Christian Falk, or CF Bayern if you're on X. He said that Dayot Upamecano appears to have ruled out a move to Liverpool if the Bayern Munich defender decides to leave Germany when his contract runs out this summer. His preferred destinations are understood to be Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain. I speak for everybody when I say, oh well, what a pity, never mind. Because, in all honesty, I don't know anybody who was excited or wanted Dayot Upamecano to come to Liverpool. And I'm being sincere, this isn't sour grapes. Honestly, you can go back and check it out. I really couldn't give a damn whether he comes to Liverpool or not, because I really think Canada is a better defender than Upamecano, and we know what Canada is doing this season. So that's where I'm at anyway, but do let me know your thoughts. Also, sticking with Christian Falk, and this is kind of leaning into what I told you guys the other day, Crystal Palace defender Mark Guéhi is very close to signing for Liverpool. So regular viewers of the channel will know that I said my information 3 or 4 days ago was that he had given Liverpool his word. I don't know whether it will be January or the summer, but I do believe he is destined to become a Liverpool player, and Christian Falk seems to think similarly. Also, Christian Falk, he said Liverpool would prefer to sell Ibrahim Konate in January if he's not prepared to sign a new contract. I'm sure they would, but if I'm in Konate's position, do I take it? Because it's pretty clear, let's say, that Real Madrid, if they want Konate, they want him on a free. I'm not sure with the likes of Bayern Munich whether they'd be willing to pay a fee or not. But if he doesn't want to be at the club and if his future isn't here, I've nothing against him being sold in January, as long as Liverpool bring in 2 centre-backs in January. So that's where I'm at with it. More on Konate in a moment. This piece here from Caught Offside said, Liverpool have offered Ibrahim Konate a new contract, but he is yet to respond. I mean, I don't know what to say at this point. Surely they must be able to feel one way or the other that he is leaning yes or no. The whole thing again is dragging on too long. Here we are now, a month and a bit away from the window opening. Him being able to talk with clubs outside of England, it just needs to be dealt with as soon as possible, in my opinion. But of course, we'd love to know your thoughts. Now, this is one of the more ridiculous rumours, and of course, it comes from FSG, so you know. Special place, island, embassy, you know the drill. They say Liverpool are reportedly considering a record £140 million bid for Portugal and Paris Saint-Germain midfielder João Neves. The 21-year-old has been in excellent form this season and PSG's top goal scorer with 6 goals in 10 games. On a scale of 1 to 10, Transfer News Live say, how likely do you think it is that this will happen? 1. 1 is where I'm putting it. Highly unlikely. Wouldn't say no, but just don't believe it. So that's where I'm at with it. But of course, I'd love to know your thoughts. Next up, Liverpool News posted to say, is this fair, from The Athletic? So this is an excerpt from an article from The Athletic. They said, Alexander Isak looked like a passenger for Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, and right now, Liverpool cannot afford passengers. Right now, his first few months as the Premier League's most expensive footballer could hardly have gone worse. I can't really disagree, but at the same time, I'm nowhere near making any type of definitive decision on Isak's Liverpool career because we've barely seen him. He needs more minutes, he needs more match fitness, and we need to find a way to get the best out of him. So I'm not concerned yet, but you know what happens when Liverpool aren't doing well. It comes in from every angle. We've seen this before. Pressure starts to mount up on players, on the manager, on everybody. And look, the criticism is fair. But he wasn't the only passenger, or hasn't been the only passenger that Liverpool have been carrying. There's been a few more as well, if we're being honest about it. And at least with Isak, we can look at it and say he's new into the team. Other players, Konate as an example, has been a passenger and is there quite a long time. So, and I could probably name 3 or 4 others as well. But again, your thoughts very welcome on this one. Paul Joyce has said that Arne Slot retains the backing of the Liverpool hierarchy. There's an appreciation of what a summer of transition entails, from having a settled team to a big influx of new players on the back of significant outgoings. But Liverpool cannot keep losing. So which one is it? You either have the backing or you don't. because there was already a line in there that said Liverpool can't keep losing. Well, when is enough? When is it going to be, oh, well, this has gone too far? We've lost 6 and 7 in the league, 8 and 10 in general. You don't need me to run through the numbers. At what point do they want the season to be gone? Is that when they act? I really don't understand this. You either back him fully and you have no doubts about it, or, and let me pitch this one to you, is Messrs Hughes and Edwards maybe looking at this and feeling they don't want to admit that they made a mistake? They don't want to admit that things are going awry? I really don't know at this point. I want Arnold to succeed. I want Liverpool to succeed. But I don't want us to be burying our heads in the sand and ignoring what is right in front of our faces, which is players not playing for the manager and results that are not only acceptable, but are embarrassing. So look, I'll keep getting behind the team every week. I'll keep wanting them to win. You'll do the same, I'm sure, no doubt. But when is it going to be enough? When are they going to lose faith in them? I don't know. What's it going to take? It feels like this is an intangible thing that we can't quite put our fingers on. Even the likes of Gary Neville, moaning that it's unacceptable for Liverpool, moaning that Liverpool's results can't go on, the players aren't performing, the manager needs to change shape, and at the same time, the hypocrite goes on to say, but talk of sacking him is crazy. So which one is it, Gary? Is it acceptable or is it not? Because if it's unacceptable, which many of us feel it is, then surely the decision has to be made. The whole thing just feels like I don't want to get into the manager's bad books because I may have to interview him after a game. And this is where fan channels come into their own, because we can just be honest. Nobody wants Arnold to fail, but it's failing. And it's failing miserably at the minute. Real Madrid news now. Madrid's own have said Real Madrid are now very worried about the broken relationship between the players and the coaching staff. You know, you're thinking what I'm thinking right now, right? We're joining those dots. If Real Madrid are unhappy with Alonso and he does get fired, well, come on. If it doesn't keep working for Arne, you know, right. Peter O'Rourke has said, Liverpool coach linked to a vacant managerial role. So Giovanni van Bronckhorst is under consideration for the vacant managerial role at Indonesia. Yeah, you weren't expecting me to say that one, were you? The Dutchman joined Arne Slot's backroom staff in the summer after Johnny Heidinga left to become Ajax manager. Van Bronckhorst has had previous managerial spells at the likes of Feyenoord, Rangers and Besiktas. So does this mean if he goes, there's a chance to get Heidinga back in? Put the band back together? I don't know, but wouldn't be the worst shout. Next up, Joe Gomez, according to Paul Joyce, could play against Paris Saint-Germain, PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday given the strain on resources. You mean Canade being shit is now the strain on resources, or are we talking about at right back? Because he should be coming in and playing at centre back, or somebody should. There's no way Canade should be playing this game. There's no way he can be rewarded by playing this game. So where's the strain on resources? 2 right backs out? Again, this just feels a lot like excuse making to me. Joe Gomez should be playing, maybe along with Endo on the right side of the defence, because Ibrahim Canade quite simply doesn't deserve to be out there playing at the minute. Next up, Graham Bailey has said, FSG have no plans to replace Arne Slot as Liverpool head coach despite a terrible run of form. Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes, who run football operations, remain firmly behind the Dutchman. So, we either have standards or we don't. How long does this go on? Like I said at the start of the video, there's lots to talk about our club, the history, the traditions, and we've sacked every manager bar Jurgen Klopp that I can think of. Eventually, we got there. Now, nobody wants to see it happen, but we also don't want the whole season to go by, Champions League football to be at risk, and the players still not doing it for the manager. So somebody needs to put their hand up here and take some ownership of the situation, because when is enough going to be enough? How many more losses is it going to take? Because let's be honest, it doesn't look like it's going in the right direction. We all want it to, but how long can we just stick our fingers in our ears? And finally, folks, Netflix are considering bidding for some Premier League TV rights, reports the Times, which is interesting. I mean, if it's part of your normal Netflix subscription and they're not going up, not too bad, right? Sports they've had on there so far, boxing and stuff, been quite straightforward to watch. And actually, there's another little bit just come in here from The Athletic and Mario Cartagena that is, again, Real Madrid related, but could play into Alonso. Vinicius Jr. has informed Real Madrid president Florentino Perez that he does not intend to renew his contract at Madrid while his relationship with Alonso remains difficult. Talks over an extension are officially stalled, they write. This is an interesting one, just from the outsider or as an outsider observing this, because do you go with the drama queen? Do you go with the talented player who's not putting a shift in? Or do you go with the manager who's trying to instill a decent culture at the football club of taking ownership? There's definitely some intriguing thought processes there, but for me, look, I'll get behind Arna and the players every week, same as you guys at home. But I'm not willing to just stick my fingers in my ears and just hope for the best. There needs to be signs of it. Fingers crossed that starts this week, because we've been saying this week after week. Hopefully it starts. Hopefully it starts. Well, Wednesday, Sunday, 2 wins needed. Let's see what happens. I'll see you tonight at 8:45. Bye-bye.